Hello and welcome to our Acorn Life Mastery YouTube channel. Today I just seem to be having technical difficulties. I tried to do a live and it would not let me, so I thought I'd just go ahead and do a pre-recorded one and upload it for you guys. Welcome to our channel again. This is Acorn Life Mastery. This is episode number 35 for the year, which will be our last one for the year. And it's New Year's Eve. For those of you who haven't done your vision yet, I hope that you're thinking about what your vision is for 2021 and setting that in place. Today I want to talk to you about gratitude. I was listening to Rascal Radio, and the episode that I was listening to was by Chris and Terry Brady, and the episode itself is called Today is the Day. And they're really talking about, a lot of times we put things off, or we need to look at what we need to do. And one of the things that they talk about is even when things look really, really bleak for you, one of the takeaways I had from it was how important it is that we have gratitude, and that self-improvement is part of that process, right? And self-improvement is something that we should be focusing on daily. And we also should be surrounding ourselves with people who cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Because when you see it in others, it's easier sometimes if you don't know what to do or how to do it. But really, it's simple. It's just being thankful for the little things. One of my favorite quotes about gratitude actually came from JFK. And he says, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. And that goes for anything in life, How many times has someone said to you that they're going to do something, or they will call you, or anything like that, and then they don't follow through? And what's more important for me about that is how many times we tell ourselves that we're going to do something and we don't follow through. Because I think normally we're better at following through for others than we are for ourselves. And so when we focus on that part of self-development and we focus on gratitude and being grateful for things, it helps us. And it's really interesting. I know it's been scientifically proven that expressions of gratitude can positively affect your health. And I remember when I actually had a stroke back Christmas Day of 2014, actually 2013. And among doing the different healing techniques I do in essential oils and theta healing, the other thing that I really focused on was being grateful. Being grateful that I was still alive. Being grateful that I still had the abilities to do things. Being grateful that, I was able to still walk. I was able to still talk. And granted, there were some things I still had to work on and overcome and heal. But I really believe that gratitude and sharing that and having that gratitude made such a huge difference. I believe it expedited the healing process. And then the other thing that comes from that is about when we talk about, like I said earlier, I'm hoping that you're creating your vision for 2021. When I had my stroke and I was sharing my gratitude, and I really focused on being grateful every day when I woke up, that's the first thing I went through my head was all the things I was grateful for. And at night before I would go to sleep, all the things I was grateful for. And I still do that today. That's not changed for me, but I really made sure that, that's something I was really focusing on, was what I was grateful for. Because when we have that gratitude in our lives, it makes things, even when we're discouraged. And this has been a really bad year for a lot of us, right? I mean, it's just been a lot of things that not necessarily bad, but not what we were used to, I guess would be a better way of putting it. And so having the ability to be grateful for the things that we do have and the things that we, maybe we weren't able to have Christmas like we normally did, or maybe we weren't able to see our friends and our family like we would have in the past, but we were still able to connect with them. We were still able to, whether it was on Facebook or it was on Zoom or it was on the phone, you still had the ability to connect. And so having the gratitude for that. I know a lot of businesses, had to close down for a while. Some of them, like restaurants, were down how much capacity they were allowed to have, and some of them still are. but there's still that gratitude that when they could open, right, that they could be open at certain times, or they did have the ability to serve, or some changed. They changed the way they did business. They adapted. And I know small businesses that I'm aware of, they're grateful that they actually could stay in business. It's been hard, but there's that gratitude that we're making it, we're adapting, we're changing, we're doing what we can. And I thought it was really interesting. One of the things that they brought up in Rascal Radio and that I was listening to was that 95%, there's a 95% chance that if you're a person who expresses gratitude and does the self-development, things like that, there's a 95% chance that you were raised by 95 percenters, which means that 95% of them do the same things. Because a lot of times, let's say you've learned, you hear that children live what they learn. If you weren't brought up by families that did that, that doesn't mean that you can't, and it doesn't mean that you don't have the ability and the possibility to become one of those 95 percenters. It just means you have to really focus and be intentional. And I think that's really important, to have that abundance mentality. I know this has been a really tough week for me. I had some really, and I still have some goals that I really want to make and achieve. And things weren't falling into place the way I want them to. And not for lack of trying, although this last week and a half, I just kind of got discouraged and kind of stopped doing some of the things that I knew I needed to be doing, which didn't help. But being able to look at it, saying, okay, what have I done? What have I accomplished? Where am I at? And showing, the gratitude for that and for having what you do have makes a huge difference. So sometimes it's about just recognizing, okay, yeah, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not having the things I want. I'm not achieving what I want to achieve, but I'm not stopping growing. I'm not stopping my gratitude. And I'm okay taking a step back. And the next thing for me is being grateful for what I have accomplished and not beating myself up over the things I didn't accomplish or I didn't do. And that's a hard piece, I think, for anybody. But I know for me that the tendency is to say, okay, I didn't do this. And it's a intention for me not to just stop. I may sit back up for a minute or two, take a break, and, not feel like doing things and not doing things, but it's temporary. And I think that's the biggest takeaway for me, is when I'm sharing gratitude and I'm really expressing my gratitude, that even when I'm not achieving the things I want to achieve, that I still have the gratitude that what I have accomplished, what I have learned. Because sometimes if we're not accomplishing something, we're also learning. One of the things in Acre Life Mastery that we talk about is a PDCA. So we have our goal, we have our plan, we have the action that we're going to do, so our doing, and then we check it. What's working, what's not working, and then we make the adjustments. And so sometimes, even though I'm not accomplishing something, and I may step back and I may get to a point where I'm not really, I'm just not feeling it. Okay, honestly, I'm just not feeling it. But I don't let myself just stop. I, like yesterday, I did an accountability call and I had to say to them, this is my goal. This is still my goal. This is what I've, had done. I'm still this far away from my goal. Honestly, I'm feeling discouraged at the moment. I'm not feeling like doing anything, even though this is when I know I need to be doing things. And that's hard. It's hard to have that accountability and have to say to somebody, yeah, I'm not there. But at the same time, when you can do that and own it, be grateful for that. Be grateful that you have the character to own that, right? Be grateful that you have that sense of purpose. Be grateful that you have people that you can turn to, even if they don't respond back to you. Because maybe they don't know what to say. Maybe they don't know how to encourage you. Maybe they don't know, because sometimes if you're in a really bad place, someone may mean well and try to encourage you, and it does just the opposite, right? So if you're in one of those dark places and you're just not getting your dreams, you're not getting your goals accomplished, you're not doing the things that you need to do, recognize where you're at. Recognize that maybe there's a lesson in there for you. Maybe it's just not the right timing. Maybe you need to adjust something. If you're talking to your accountability, you're sharing. If you don't get immediate feedback to them, don't just take it as they don't care. Maybe it's just something you need to kind of sit with yourself. But regardless, be grateful. Be grateful that there's a lesson there for you. Be grateful for what you have accomplished. And be willing to own it. Because if you're not owning it, you can't be grateful for the lessons that are going to come. And that's where that abundance mentality comes in. That's where your personal growth is going to come in. Your self-improvement is going to come in. All those things are going to be a factor. But it takes you having that self-accountability to make it work. And so that was my biggest takeaway this week, because I was there. I was on that place where, not feeling it, not getting the things I wanted to accomplish, and having to say, okay, yeah, I'm not doing the things I need to be doing right now because I'm discouraged. And that's not a good place to be. It's not. But when you own that and when you can accept that, and even when it hurts, that's when you know that you're growing, you're developing, you're becoming a better leader, because leaders aren't going to stay where they're at. They're going to keep adjusting and changing and doing, right? And I'm grateful for that experience. I'm grateful for that character adjustment that's happening in my life and the realization. And I know that I'm going to do better, right? So I encourage you to do the same. Look at where you're at right now. Look at what you want to do for 2021. And like I said, just be grateful. Share that gratitude. Even if it's just a gratitude that you say yourself, if you have a gratitude journal, write it down. And then look at, what do you want to do? What do you want to change? What do you want to envision in your life for 2021? So that's what I encourage you. If you haven't joined our free community, please do so. I'll put the link below for you. If you would like to try Rascal Radio and see what it's like, I'll have a link for that as well. If you've never done a vision board, we actually had a wonderful workshop last night to get us started. And if you join the free community, that's actually one of the recordings on our community page that you'll be able to access. So you could actually go through it, do the pre-work, and then join us again a week from tomorrow, when we're actually going to be working more on actually putting the boards together. We'd love to have you join us. So again, thank you for liking our channel, for subscribing. If you haven't hit the notification button, please do, so you can get the notifications for when we're going live. And have a very happy New Year's Eve, a safe, happy New Year's Eve. And I want to encourage you, figure out what your 2021 vision is. Thank you, and have a great, great day.